Check with our next guest. I know the Olympics are over, but this is kind of a cool story because, they introduce new events every year at the Olympics, right? Mm-hmm. Some of them, like I think breakdancing will now be a sport at the next Summer Games, believe it or not. But Monobob.
Is that real? Is that true?
Yeah.
I remember hearing that, and I was like, is that for real?
Yeah, I believe it is. Huh. If it's not, it was a great thing to make up.
Very
but
cool.
I do believe it's real.
Yeah.
But at the Winter Olympics, just ended now in Beijing, they had something called Monobob, which is an odd name until you realize what it is. They have the bobsled, of course. There's the two-person bobsled. There used to be, I think, back in the day, I'm not sure if it's still the case, four-person bobsled. Mm-hmm, but Monobob is you, and good luck. That's how that race works. And guess what? We had a Canadian win a bronze medal in this sport the first time around. Her name is Christine de BRUIN. She's on the line right now. Hi, Christine.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure. So you are from Alberta, right?
Mm-hmm.
And just so people understand this, even though this is a new event, you have been racing bobsled for a while now.
Yeah, I've been bobsledding for 11 years. I've done two-man. I've also done a little bit of four-man as well. So four-man is actually still around. Oh. Both guys and girls are allowed to actually compete in the event if we want to. But it's mostly just guys because with the girls, there's too much of a weight difference that even if we compete, we're probably going to get last just because we're just so much lighter.
Well, that makes
sense. Fair enough. So when did you decide that, two-man, not for you, you want to go out there and do this on your own, which I imagine is a whole lot more dangerous too?
No, it's about the same. But I do two-man as well. I got fifth at this Games. Basically, with Monobob being a new event, it was a little bit like we were all just thrown into it and seeing how we did. And I'm very competitive, so I wanted to be one of the top two teams in Canada, so I was able to compete at the Games.
You did amazingly well. Bronze medal. I would love if you could describe to us what it feels like. Because, for you, you've been doing this for years. I'm sure you don't think anything of it. You jump on the I don't even know what it's called, the sled, and down you go, down you hurl. What does it actually feel like? Because for us from the outside, it looks pretty wild.
I would say the inside is also pretty wild. My first time actually going into bobsled, I puked everywhere because it was so intense, the G-forces. Oh. Yeah, so it is pretty intense. When you're driving, your head is constantly hitting the sides of the bobsled. It's just a lot of different pressure you're feeling. Your body's going in and out of all these pressures all the time. It's pretty loud as well because it's chattering over the ice. But it's a lot of fun. I mean, it sounds really bad, but it's actually a lot of fun, and we go really fast. And when you do it well and you're not skidding or hitting the walls, it just feels really, really cool.
And I'm wondering about one of your former teammates. It would now be, I guess, one of your biggest rivals. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, about losing your teammate and now competing against her?
Yeah, for sure. So I've never considered her one of my biggest rivals. I actually think the Germans are pretty intense. The German team are they're always insane. With Kaylee, it's pretty normal. We're always going to be competing against each other anyways if she has a Canadian flag on her back or an American. So that's kind of just sucks seeing an American flag there, but it is what she decided to do, and that's what she's going to do.
I'm curious when you talk about what it's like getting thrown around in these things. When you watch this on TV, it doesn't look that terrible, right? You're sitting in this bobsled, and unless you hit a wall and end up on your head, when you talk about getting thrown around, are you actually you walk out of there with bruises from going down these runs?
Yeah, sometimes. So, if you're doing a bad job, you'll walk around with a lot of bruises. Okay. If you're doing a good job, normally not so much, no.
And I'm just curious, are you ever scared?
No, I think as a driver, it's really important to not be scared, because if you are, then it's kind of just showing that you don't really have the confidence in your program, so you're driving down the track. I know if I'm ever scared, most of the time it's just going to end up with me on my head. So you have to really do lots of breathing exercises and gain a lot of confidence by talking to your coaches about all the different steers you have to do down the track, and that usually helps.
We're speaking with Christine de BRUIN. She is a bronze medalist. She won it in Beijing at the Winter Olympics, the first time that the Monobob race was happening there. What I've been reading about Christine is that, not only are you a role model and a trailblazer, but that for some reason this sport is really speaking to women and getting more women involved in this sport. So can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so with it being just one person, it's a lot more financially feasible for some of the countries. So there's people like from Ukraine and Slovakia, places like that where there's just not a lot of funding. They can purchase a sled. It's still very expensive, but it's a little bit better that you don't have to pay for 2 or 3 other people's hotel and food and stuff like that.
I'm curious, you talk about having done this for 10 or 11 years in two-man. You're in your 30s now, right? I think you're 34, 35?
Yeah, I'm 32.
What, did you one day wake up as a 15-year-old going down on a toboggan run and think, you know what, this is not fast enough or dangerous enough for me. I need to amp this up a bit.
That would be a lot better if I did that a little bit sooner. But no, when I was 21, I actually got recruited. I did track and field before, so I went to the University of Alberta and competed there. And basically, I was just done being an athlete. I just wanted to have a normal life, finish my degree. And my track coach had some connections with the bobsleigh team. And so he was like, I don't think you're done with sports yet. Like in track and field, you're okay. You're not bad, but I think in bobsleigh you'll be great.
Well, hold on. How do you go from track and field to I think you'll be great in bobsled?
Because we need people who can push the sled really fast and be strong as well. So, normally we get a lot of sprinters who come in, and also football and rugby.
No kidding.
Yeah, I think if you're an athletic type, okay, well, you tell me, Christine. So I have a cousin, Sonia, who was a bobsledder. She never made it to the Olympics, but it was an ambition for her. And in her day-to-day life, she's a bit of a daredevil. Like, she's always going to be the one who's going to take that chance and do that thing and never hesitate. Are you like that in your day-to-day life?
I don't really think I am too much, but probably. Like, I've gone skydiving and done all those things. I just really want to always take opportunities, right? So sometimes that means taking a risk, and yeah, that's what I like to do.
So you're now at an age where, by Olympic standards, you might even say you're old. You're in your 30s now. So was this kind of the crowning achievement for you as far as Olympics go? You're going to wait 4 more years and compete again? What are your plans?
My plans right now are to go lay on a beach, and then I will decide after that. It's been a very long 2 years. Leading up to it with COVID and all that stuff. So, yeah, I want to go have a nice vacation first, and then I'll start making decisions.
I love that answer. My plans are to go away and sit on a beach.
You are so likable. I mean, yeah, an absolute inspiration, Christine. So glad that you did so well, and that, the beach first and then take it from there.
No rush. Christine, thank you so much. Yeah. Appreciate it. Congratulations again.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Christine de BRUIN. So she's from Stony Plains, Alberta.
Mm-hmm, that's what
and gets herself a bronze in Monobob and is off to the beach.
I loved her attitude with Kaylee Humphries, too, because Kaylee Humphries and she were former teammates now. She's like, she's not my rival.
Going to the beach. I would like to do that in reverse, like to go to the beach first and then see if I qualify for the Olympics later on. I think that'd be the way to go.